Uploading. All right, folks, we are back again for another episode of Find Things Refreshed. Hard to believe that it's already episode 4.
Oh, we didn't do music today, Eli.
Well, it's playing.
Oh, is it? I can't hear it.
Turn it up a little. You hear that? A little midday, what they call night driving. So excited to be back with y'all. I really appreciate, first and foremost, everybody who's been joining us. I know we're carving out some time in the middle of the day, trying to do it over a lunch hour, or if it's for you guys to come back and listen to it. I just wanted to say thank you. It's really important to both Angie and myself, to continue to get out into the community and to educate, to spread the word of marketing and to spread the word of enthusiasm and passion for what we do at Yazo, which is marketing. But then also sort of spicing it up a little bit with our Find Things shout out. We try to find some things each day that are find things to us that, get us up and out of bed and moving. And it's also some ways that we can shout out our clients and some of the services that they offered. So just excited to be back again. It's episode 4. You've got myself, CEO Eli, and my mother, business partner, and our lead strategist and CMO, Angie, here back again today. So Angie, why don't you kick us off? We're going to talk a little bit about, first and foremost, one of our team values.
Yeah, so we always start out with talking about a team value. And today we're talking about collaboration and teamwork and what that means to us at Yazo and what we think it should mean to most businesses, entrepreneurs. And it's funny because we just had our team meeting. We have this once a month where and it's not just employees, it's consultants that work with us, and we get together and we go down through each one of our clients, what's going well, what we may be running into, what projects are due, maybe creative brainstorming. And it's, super important that to us that people feel like they're part of our team. So that's one thing. I think that's point number 1, Eli. It's like just making sure that people actually feel like they're part of the team, that they're not on an island, even if they are a consultant or just a consultant collaborator with us.
Absolutely.
But then I think most important to us is the power of collaboration, which is huge in marketing. But, it's huge in other industries as well. It's not just marketing that's important in. So the power of collaboration for us at Yazo means that, as a small boutique agency, we cannot be experts in everything, but we can spend really quality time identifying and finding the very best collaborators and consultants that we can have. And we are blessed. We definitely know that it's a blessing to have consultants who have been with us since day one of Yazo. They are part of our team. They feel like they're, they are just part of this whole thing since it started. But what they bring to the table is expertise. And so we've talked recently about, and then I'll be quiet and let you chime in, but we've talked about what does that mean for clients? And
yeah, absolutely.
And we said, even for us, doing the research in the state of Pennsylvania on what the cost is to find a full-time marketing employee that really understands what's going on today in the world of marketing, which usually means they've got current experience and maybe 5 to 10 years or more of it. It's a pretty hefty price tag. So what agencies our size are able to do is we're able to fill that gap, and we're able to collaborate with clients to bring a team on instead of them having to hire an employee. So collaboration is a huge part of our model.
It is.
Granted, some clients use it more than others. That's not what every client gets from us, depending on the size of the client. But that is how we've built our model. It's how you, as CEO, want to build this agency well into the future. And then internally for us, it's marketing, and we're going to talk about this when we talk about the tip for the month, for this Find Things Refresh, but it's changing constantly. So how could one person ever know all that.
Well, that's the beauty of it. I mean, we have really realized that. I mean, going back to the start of Yazo, when we really started to build and look at how do we build and how do we scale, that was something that you and I always came back to, was we wanted to build a team of experts. And it's very difficult to lock those individuals down. But the other area is that when you're doing this in the sense of collaboration, we do it with, you know, our consultants and our team of employees. But the beauty of consultancy is you also offer that flexibility and that freedom. And in today's work environment, with everything that's going on, that's the way that we can sort of keep a lot of those folks interested in what we're doing, but also give them the freedom to go out and continue to be experts in their space and do other things that they may have passion for, or work on other clients. So there is that side of, yes, that's how we wanted to build Yazo, but it even stays true in today's world of this new work model. This, everybody's sort of going to this hybrid in and out. You may not be physically together. You and I are doing this virtually now. It gives us that flexibility, and it allows us to grow and offer that to our consultants. But the beauty of that is it also plays a huge value for our clients, because we are getting that team of experts, and you can lean into different areas and leverage different folks for different types of projects. And while it's important to stay consistent with a strategy, being able to plug and play with those key players really allows us to be the best at what we do in different areas. Because it's hard. You can't do it all. It takes a village. And I know that we talk about that, and we say that a lot. We say it a lot internally, and we say it a lot to our clients. It really does take a village when you're talking about the world of marketing. But when you can really harness that power and know and realize that, hey, it may make sense for us to invest in a team of experts. Wow, does it open up the doors of possibilities for what you really are able to do? Because like you said, a one-man band can be really good at playing a lot of instruments, but it's going to become chaotic, because how are you keeping beat? How are you staying on rhythm? Are you doing things at the right time? Are you hitting them with the right message? If folks are asking you different questions, how are you possibly going to answer all of that and get your day-to-day stuff done? So
yeah,
something that we've talked about. But it's also really awesome when you shift into collaboration, right? Because you're bringing in different eyes, different ears, different point of views. And if you're working within a vacuum, a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. And bringing in those other folks may not be their area of expertise, but if you can give them something just to digest and give you their gut response, you might be like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. Or I've been staring at these two colors for a week and it feels like they're right and they're totally wrong from someone else's perspective. So that creative collaboration, that, you know, the messaging and the content collaboration and strategy collaboration, and just getting those other folks' perspective, it allows you to broaden your messaging and how you go out and sort of position yourself as a company. So that's really exciting for us too.
Yeah. And I guess the last thing I would say is, like, then sometimes ask, like, how do you do it without, and you said this, how do you do collaboration without it becoming chaotic?
Yeah.
We use a storyboard starting point kind of thing. Again, we don't always do it, but we try a lot of times. So clients who work with me will know I do this. I say, this is a starting point only. And the reason we do that in our logo, you know, what you're looking at, like, dive on in,
Yep.
it's just a starting point. Now, like, and it could be what we end up with is something totally different once collaboration happens. But a lot of times my role is, if I don't get that starting point going, it never gets done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll come up with an idea. I'll say, this is just a starting point. It gets the ball rolling. Now, like, somebody on the team does have to champion keeping that order. And
Yes.
I know I get frustrated sometimes when we veer off of that, because I'm like, okay, we're trying to use this starting point. Now there's, like, all of this happening over here. It's not even what we talked about. I don't understand what's going on. So collaboration does require, you know, a little bit of order, but man, it's powerful. And I love watching other teams do it, because it's like, that was nothing. Like, I didn't come up with that, you know?
Exactly. And the beauty of that, though, is if you can decide who your champion is or who your quarterback is to really drive those conversations, and you do have some ideas that come out of left field, it doesn't mean that you have to ditch those ideas. You can save them. You can come back to them. It may not necessarily be applicable to what you're doing, but some of the greatest ideas come out of conversations that were about something totally different, just because it gets your brain moving in the right direction. But, you know, that's sort of what we want to talk about today. It's the value that we have at Yazoo. It's how we see this agency growing. It's how we see ourselves giving value back to our clients. And teamwork and collaboration comes into everything that you're doing. I mean, it comes into how you run a family. It comes into how you run a business. It comes into how you run a community. So that teamwork and that collaboration can be applied to a lot of different facets, I should say, of your life, which is
Yeah.
really, really powerful. And it's a beautiful way to kind of look at it. But that's the start of today. So our value is teamwork and collaboration, and being able to harness that power really can help you untap a lot of potential, which is what we're here for. So let's shift the conversation a little bit. Let's get into the world of marketing.
Yeah.
Our lifeblood at Yazoo. We are going to talk a little bit today about something that's unique, something that you may not think about regularly, or as a small business, may not think you have the ability to tap into, but you absolutely do, and that's geomarketing. And geomarketing is probably going to raise a lot of questions. What is that? What does that mean? And it can mean a lot of different things. But today we're going to speak about physical geomarketing and how that works. And we're going to highlight a tool that we're really excited about at Yazoo, which is called Ground Truth. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But geomarketing is the ability to tap into your consumers' physical, we'll call them habits, right? What stores are they going into? What streets do they go down? If they're walking, where are they walking past? What are they doing? If they go from one store, where do they go after that? And all of these things sort of open up the door for consumer habits. So if you go and you're looking to purchase a car, you're probably driving past some auto body shops, or maybe a couple car dealerships. Vice versa, if you're going out and buying furniture, you may be going to one furniture store to the other furniture store. If you're looking for something to eat, you may bebop between McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, and then all of a sudden end up at Popeyes. But all of these things, what it means is you're looking for something. And typically when you look for something, it influences your physical presence and where you go and do things throughout your day. So understanding.
It's the things that are
Exactly.
unique, the patterns that are unique to you.
And we talk about the customer journey, right? It's just sort of separating from the customer journey up here and like how we digitally present that, right, to what is physically happening. And
Yeah.
I'm going to physically go do something if I'm hungry. I'm going to physically go do something if I want to buy a house. I'm going to physically go do something if I want to buy a car. And that can be applied to, really any product or service. So tapping into that, understanding that, and then leveraging that data, because you can then take that and reposition it to play your ads, your digital ads in the right space to the right folks at the right time.
Yeah.
So
I'm laughing because it's people are scared of this, but
they are.
I just want to take a step back and say this also goes back to collaboration, knowing
Yep.
what tools are out there. Because to me, this topic really is knowing what tools are available in digital marketing. So, like digital marketing, some people obviously they think Google ads, they think Facebook ads,
YouTube ads, all of that.
they think YouTube ads, they may think even TikTok now ads. This is part of their digital marketing strategy. But Ground Truth and companies like Ground Truth, which, they call themselves location-based marketing. Basically, it's very interesting to me because, again, we're collaborating with Ground Truth to be educated ourselves. Like this is how you stay current in your field.
Mm-hmm.
But like what I've learned is it is affordable. A lot of people think, and I've had these conversations over the years, like, so you and I, we're doing something and we're like, why did I just get an ad for that? I drove by, or I went into that store yesterday and now I'm getting an ad for all these similar products. Okay. And we actually think, oh, it's kind of creepy, but like, what's going on? And then we think, when I talk about it with clients, they go, well, that's for the big companies. I mean, they're talking the big companies with $1 million budgets. And it's not.
No.
Companies, collaborators like Ground Truth bring these tools to the small business. You have to be able to probably afford $1,000 in the month that you're doing the ad, right? For the
Yeah.
ad spend. That's the ad spend part of it. But let me tell you something. Facebook, YouTube, they are all telling you now, if you're not spending that much, you're not really getting the impact of the ad. And that's why our clients get so frustrated, because they're like, I'm spending $250 a month. I'm not getting
I've
anything.
done it. I've tried it.
You're not going to get anything. You're not spending enough money. So part of it is, can you spend like $1,000 a month on the ad part itself, right? That is for real. We have to talk about that. It's not going to go away.
Exactly.
Like if your budget's $250, this is not the tool for you. But there are a lot of small businesses that can afford that, a lot. And, like, here's an example of how this works. So let's say you're thinking about Facebook ads, right? Or you're thinking about doing Google ads, but you're a store, right? And you're a new store and you're selling, I don't know, you're selling computers. It's not a good idea. Not a good.
No, I mean, that could be a great example.
That's just it's just an example. And you're like, how do I get people to know about me? So they can actually target, well, who would you target? Maybe people that are going to
Best Buy,
Staples, Best Buy,
the
small,
Apple Store if you have one nearby.
like, and you can actually target they're targeting the traffic, and they're targeting basically what's happening online too. So it's a combination. So you're really getting a unique data set, right?
Exactly.
So they call it visitation data, right? And it's, what do they use? How do they get that? People always ask, well, how do they get that? I don't understand. Well, there's mobile location data available.
Exactly.
Okay. And so you think it's creepy. So we want to address that, I think.
Yeah, because there is a lot of talk and concern around data privacy, which we are all for. And I mean, I would state that above and beyond anything else, that's really important. But in today's world, and marketing is really, even going back to school, like you talk about understanding the consumer, and part of the consumer habits are where they physically go. And, if you want to be basically presented with the right information, product, or services, which truly a lot of younger generations, that's what they want. I mean, they want to see what they're looking for. So by allowing us to tap into that location data, you're not serving someone an ad for a car when they're looking for a motorcycle, or a pizza when they want a hamburger. You're sort of, okay, they're looking for a computer, so they're at Best Buy, why don't we present them with our ad? And then it goes into sort of your point, Angie, and stepping away from the privacy side of it. How do you do that, right? How do you tap into that? If they're in the store, obviously you can't show them an ad on the television, but you might be able to play that ad for them later, knowing that they went to that store. Or if you want to present ads while they're in that store because it's physically close to your store, you can do that through apps. You could do it through a display ad that may be on an app like the Weather Channel. You get on the Weather Channel and you see the ads that are on that app. You could place your ads there timely because they're in a physical area. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use it. They have the on-location data. They have it, I think, what's called on-premise, which is a little bit different. They have different areas and parameters in which how you interact with the location determines, what type of ads you may or not be served. But it's really, really interesting and extremely powerful.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's ads that pop up on your mobile phone when you're in whatever you're in. And that's how it works. So it's like, yesterday I went to a restaurant, and now today I'm getting ads for a similar restaurant that serves similar type of food. But I think, the point is that it's not like they're giving out,
Sensitive data.
your, age and how much you spent. And it's just literally what unfortunately is happening anyhow.
Exactly.
So it is happening whether it's being used for you or not, because that data set is already available out there. So that, basically, what they call visitation data is already out there. Whether you as a business, use it or not is the point. It's already out there. Consumers are, they're already getting it. And yeah, there are ways around it. Like you can get off of location trackers, or try your best. I mean, I don't know that you even can anymore. But like, you're supposed to, they say that there are ways to, turn location trackers
Yeah.
off. But my point to this is it's a powerful tool. In the end, our consumers do want to be served up what they're interested in. If they're a health food junkie, they don't want to keep getting ads for McDonald's.
Exactly.
And this is a way for small business to advertise in a meaningful manner. And that's the question we get asked all the time. Like, what is the meaningful way to do marketing anymore? Because I'm sick of stuff not working.
Yeah, and they're on a limited budget. So how do you, we just talked about a client with this. How do you win and lose fast? How do you do things the right way? And how do I make the most out of the money that I have? And while these things may seem like pie in the sky ideas for a small and medium sized business, they're truly not. And finding an expert that can lead you down the right direction and sort of has their hand in these different areas is really, really valuable, because they'll be able to tell you, yeah, this is a tool that you can leverage. We need to allocate $1,000 in ad spend. Maybe we took a break on your Facebook and Google ads for a quarter and spend in here and take a look at the data. Is it working? Because what you're doing right now obviously isn't getting the results you want. But lean into an expert, lean into someone that you trust to lead you in the right direction, and don't feel like you got to take it all on by yourself, because I feel like we hear that a lot, from business owners and executives for those small to medium sized businesses. Like, there's all these great tools, there's this, there's that. I got to be on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I got to have a website, I got to do this. And then by the time you get to the end of the sentence, and they're exhausted. I mean, even talking about it. So lean into an expert. We're here for you. If you have any questions, we'd love to have a chat. But, ultimately, we just thought this was really, really cool. Number one, as a fine thing, it's really, really powerful. And that's another fine thing. And ultimately, it's going to help you guys stay competitive, which is really the biggest thing that marketing is about, is being competitive within your space and creating that awareness. But that's the wrap up for the marketing tool. I want to take a second here to breathe and just sort of say, for y'all, if you're out there listening and you want to comment in on something that you guys would like to hear us talk about, we would love that. Drop us a line if there's a specific topic, a specific area of marketing that you have questions on. It will help us sort of drive our calendar going ahead. So feel free to drop us a line, even if it's something that you have a question on, you want the next episode to be about. Let's shift into our shout out, our fine thing shout out. So I'm going to get our banner queued up here. This one's really exciting because it's been a client of ours for quite a while. Reclamere, who you may or may not know, is based in the Altoona area. They're actually based out of Tyrone, but they're centrally located within Pennsylvania. They work nationally across the country. They work within the Mid-Atlantic region in both the IT asset management, ITAD, and data security consulting space. One of the really big reasons why we wanted to shout them out is they have an upcoming webinar live tomorrow that will be helping them moderate with one of their partners, CyberCon IQ. It's around the top 5 myths of cybersecurity awareness training. This is really interesting because, there's a lot of different tools out there. A lot of folks are like, I'm trying this, I'm trying that. What else can I be doing? Reclamere is an amazing partner. They've been around for 20 plus years in this space. They know what they're talking about. They are experts in the industry. And I really think this is an opportunity for you guys to get an inside look at a really, really powerful tool. They're going to introduce cyberology, which is a really, really hot topic and a hot phrase right now within the space of cybersecurity. And you're going to hear from a client that's already been exposed to the platform. They've had a chance to implement it in their work environment and sort of see how it's, what kind of tangible results they're getting out of that. So there's the beauty of not just hearing from the person selling you the tool or wanting you to buy the tool, but a client that's actually experienced it as well.
Yeah. And you're moderating, right? You're going to be on.
I am. I'm going to be moderating and introducing our 2 speakers, Joe Harford, founder and president at Reclamere, and Tanya Foster, the director over at CyberCon IQ. So just really, really excited. And I thought it was an opportunity for us to sort of share that with y'all. I know it's a little bit of a specific area, but we're all, regardless of what you're doing, what business you have, cybersecurity is something that you should and need to be thinking about. Your cybersecurity posture, what you're doing to protect yourself, regardless of how large or small you are, you could be a potential target. I mean, we see it all the time. You and I, when we do the breach of the months or the breach alerts with Reclamere, the number of companies that are exposed and across industries, from manufacturing to retail to education to healthcare to financial, you name it, they can probably get something from you.
Yeah.
And Reclamere is someone you want to talk to if you have concerns about this, or even if it's sort of sparking your interest, like, wait a second, maybe I should take a little bit of a deeper dive on in with Reclamere, because they're going to lead you in the right direction.
And I would say, even if you can't attend, register and you get the link to listen.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are like, well, I can't, I already have my plans, I'm not going to be able to make it. Register, send you out the link afterwards. But it's definitely a fine thing, and it's definitely, you're right. Like, I don't care how small your company is. I think I'd listen in, because cybersecurity is huge importance to companies right now.
It is. So if you're interested, take a look below. The ticker is sort of scrolling across. You'll see the name of the webinar again, Top 5 Myths of Cybersecurity Awareness Training, along with the link. I know it's going a little bit fast, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop a comment and we'll get you guys the registration link as well. Just a fine thing that you all should take advantage of. But that's a wrap. That's episode 4. We're going to try and cut it because we don't want to go too much longer than 30 minutes. And I know that if you let my mother and I talk, we'll be on here all day long. But again, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate everything that you bring to the table for us. It allows us to do what we love, which is marketing and the passion for helping others and being a cornerstone to a community and seeing the growth. But today we talked about teamwork, collaboration, what that means to us and how you guys can harness it. GeoMarketing, something that everybody can and should take advantage of, no matter how big or small that you are. If you have questions on GeoMarketing, feel free to reach out. And the fine thing is Reclamere in our webinar. Take a look, sign up. But we appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Thank you for tuning in. And Mom, thanks for joining me again. I always love getting on here with you. But we'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.